Good day, I am Rose Rueda from Group 7, and we're talking about National Tourism Development Plan of 2016 to 2022, where this week 16 covering the salient features of National Tourism Development of 2016 to 2022, tourism clusters, and tourism development areas. It is important for the future tourism practitioners to know the state's plan for the country's tourism industry. The National Tourism Development Plan of 2016 to 2022 is a continuation of the National Tourism Development Plan 2011 to 2016, formulated in 2010 by the Department of Tourism as mandated by Republic Act 9593 or the Tourism Act of 2009. The Department of Tourism, or DOT, aims to provide a tourism development plan that shall be highly competitive and environmentally sustainable, focusing on creating inclusive growth consistent with the policy set forth by Tourism Act of 2009. The vision of developing a highly competitive and environmentally sustainable tourism industry that is focused on creating inclusive growth was adopted to provide the long-term implementation framework consistent with the declaration of policy set forth in the 2009 of Tourism Act. The National Tourism Development Act of 2016 to 2022 seeks to build and upscale the implementation of tourism programs through a focused and prioritized approach which is designed to deliver a more competitive, sustainable, and inclusive tourism sector. It increases income and jobs from tourist spending. It helps preserve cultural and natural heritage for tourists. It increases understanding of other cultures. Efforts have been undertaken to consolidate the gains already made and adopt a more strategic and innovative approach in exploring new opportunities to pursue inclusive growth, which will be done by expanding community participation across the full range of facilities and services planned in the tourism circuits and development areas. Continuity is the cornerstone of the new plan with special focus on what is achievable as well as on building on the momentum of what has already been initiated through the efforts of the numerous stakeholders comprising the tourism industry. Under this National Tourism Development Plan is a tourism cluster concepts, and you will see the map of cluster destination here in the Philippines. In the pursuit of the tourism vision, the National Tourism Development Plans continues to adopt and take the cluster approach as a destination development strategy in the implementation of complementing programs involving transport networks, infrastructure projects, accommodation and recreational facilities, human resources development, and making of marketing plans, all directed to support the development of tourism destination throughout the country. Now, the map of cluster destination will be tackled by the next reporter. Thank you.
Map of cluster destinations. Cluster approach. Cluster approach is the way of mapping tourism cluster which are all interconnected to one another. In a way, it is designed to manipulate or convince visitors or customers to increase their length of stay and expenditures in that cluster or area. This can be achieved by combining tourism attractions, transport networks, key tourism infrastructures, and more. To achieve a successful result, linking of TDAs or tourism development areas such as transport networks, tourism sites, and etc., which can be serviced by at least one primary gateway.
In NTDP or National Tourism Development Plan of 2016 to 2022, the tourism products have been categorized into 9 sections of Philippine tourism product portfolio. First is the cultural tourism, a type of tourism activity in which tourists' purpose of traveling are to learn, discover, experience, and consume the tangible and intangible cultural attractions or products in a tourism destination. These following attractions inside the Philippines can be classified as cultural tourism: Rizal Monument in Rizal Park, Manila; Taoist Temple in Cebu; Manila Cathedral in Manila; Rice Terraces of the Philippines in Ifugao; Fort San Pedro in Cebu City; and Legazpi Japanese War Tunnel in Legazpi. Next is the health, wellness, and retirement tourism. It is a kind of tourism that includes traveling into a places such as hospital, clinics, Terme Italaso Wellness, spas and fitness center, and wellness resorts. Health and wellness and retirement tourism can be found in these places: Banwa Private Island in Palawan, Mithi Resort and Spa in Bohol, and Badjan Island Wellness Resorts in Cebu. MICE Tourism. MICE stands for Meeting, Incentives, Conference, and Exhibitions, and it represents a lucrative part of tourism mix across the globe. MICE can also be referred to as business tourism or business events. One of the most famous MICE tourism in the Philippines is the Philippine MICE Conference or the MICECon. This is the large gathering of meetings, incentive travel, conventions, and exhibitions of professionals in the Philippines. Sun and beach tourism. This is one of the earliest modern forms of tourism and a staple of the tourism industry. This kind of tourism at coastal resorts is often considered to result from an inevitable attraction to the beach. This is also a type of tourism that involves spending time in the sun or even just being in the sun. These attractions are classified as sun and beach tourism: El Nido in Palawan, Boracay in Aklan, Palawi Island in Cagayan Valley, Panglao in Bohol, and Bantayan Island in Cebu. Cruise and nautical tourism, a type of tourism that encompasses aspects of marine tourism such as sailing, yachting, cruising and diving, and as well as harborside development, coastal water sports such as jet skiing, boat shows, port tours, and marine heritage destinations. Cruise and nautical tourism can be found mostly in Puerto Galera, in Palawan, and in Cebu. Education tourism. Educational tourism comprises travel and tourism activity that is primarily motivated by the tourists seeking of educational components. Educational tourism is also called by others such as career enhancement, job development, or self-actualization experiences. Educational sites that can be found in the Philippines are University of Santo Tomas, University of the Philippines, Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm, Central Philippine University, Visayas State University, Pulilan Butterfly Haven, Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University, and Polytechnic State College of Antique. Nature-based tourism. Nature-based tourism is a form of tourism that uses natural resources in a wild or undeveloped form. Nature-based tourism is a travel for the purpose of enjoying undeveloped natural areas of wildlife, or what you call ecotourism. Some of the most popular attractions in nature-based tourism in the Philippines are Boracay Beaches, Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park in Palawan, and the Chocolate Hills in Bohol. Leisure and entertainment tourism. Leisure and entertainment tourism is a tourism that focuses on recreation, entertainment, and sports. Leisure and entertainment tourism examples are golf courses, tennis courts, cycling roads and areas, hiking courses, camping grounds, nature trails and paths, large-scale parks, leisure land, theme parks, sports and resort complex, and other sport and recreational facilities. Lastly is the diving and marine sports tourism. This kind of tourism must be defined as individuals traveling from their usual place of residence, spending at least one night away and actively participating in one or more activities, including scuba diving, snorkeling, snuba, or anything that use of liberating apparatus. The example of this tourism are the following. Tubataha Reef, that can be found in the Philippines in the middle of the Sulu Sea, Malapascua in Cebu City, Mual Bowl in the province of Cebu, and Balikasag Island, that is located from the southwestern end of Panglao Island in Bohol. Convergence concept. Following the recommendations for strengthening the institutional capacity of public and private stakeholders, ensuring participatory governance, and creating successful partnership, a tourism governance and management framework was formulated to allow convergence of approach in national, regional, and local levels at both strategic and tactical horizons.
Tourism governance in various chapters of the Tourism Act, various sections spell out of the shared responsibilities of the national and local governments, particularly in tourism development planning. The formulation of an accreditation system as a basis for promulgating rules and regulations in the operation of tourism enterprises, and the designation of tourism zones and areas. The tourism convergence principle is a sector that contributes to the reduction of the differences in terms of economic growth between developed and less developed economies. The establishments of a tourism infrastructure program to support the needs for vital access roads, airports, seaports, and other requirements necessitated convergence programs with DPWH, DOTR, including DBM, to provide priority status and funding of transport infrastructure program. Likewise, together with DFA, DOJ, DTI, BOI, and DOT policies and practices covering travel formalities and its facilitation are to be reviewed to develop systems and procedures that will encourage visits and longer stay of foreign tourists in the Philippines. Also, the National Ecotourism Strategy formulated by DNR and DOT through the National Ecotourism Steering Committee integrated its effort in identifying ecotourism sites for its development, conservation, and eventual conversion into tourism enterprise zones. Ito ay nagpaplano ng pagpapaunlad ng turismo. Ito ay isang sistemang akreditasyon na nagpapahayag ng mga tuntunin at regulasyon sa pagpapatakbo ng mga negosyo sa turismo at para masuportahan ang mga pangangailangan para sa mahalagang daan, paliparan, daungan at iba pang kinakailangan.
I am Eunice Tapat, the next reporter.
National Tourism Development Plan 2016 to 2022 listed some concern of challenges that the tourism industry needs to address and overcome. Underdeveloped transport, infrastructure, and tourist facilities. So possibly the most significant factor affecting the travel industry is transportation. This means that the lack of tourists will have an impact on the local economy, hotel, restaurants, and museum. Visits by a tourist create additional development of the place such as park, garden, and museums. Additional facilities include road, water system, public toilet, signage, because all of these infrastructure development are important for the tourist sector. Then next, perceived concerns of personal safety of travelers. So that the perception of safety, both personal safety and safety of a venue, is vital to the success of a tourist destination. And the next for NTDP are difficulty in mitigating the effect of natural disasters, aggressive competition in tourism from Asian neighbors, uncertain global economy, and continuing existence and political unrest in the Middle East and West Philippine Sea. From a national perspective, natural disaster and aggressive competition from ASEAN neighbors are ranked as the top threats to Philippines tourism. The political unrest existing in the Middle East and certain part of West, together with uncertainties in the global economy, serve as the major threats to regional tourism.
Good day everyone. My name is Jules Rosales and I report NTDP 2016 to 2022 strategic direction and programs aims to address concerns and challenge determined through the following. Pursue travel facilitation incentives. Aggressively promoting routes and additional air service utilizing the new and expanded airports will be essential in providing the necessary seat capacity to meet visitors' targets. Attract investment and improve business environment. While transport infrastructure development is being undertaken, equally crucial to the country's tourism competitiveness is expanding available transportation equipment primarily through acquisition of additional aircraft, ferry vessel, and tour buses, together with the expansion of the country accommodation supplies, hotel and resort rooms through private investment in these sectors. Expand product development initiative. The development of tourism circuits, as proposed in this plan, will result in greater connectivity between tourism development areas and such which will in turn bring travel-related business opportunity closer to local communities. Implement an expanded marketing program. The coming year's funding marketing program for foreign market will consist of four major trusts involving the continuation of Eat More Fun in the Philippines, branding campaign, markets penetration strategies through expanded trade and consumer activities in 12 major markets. The design of market development program for identified 12 new markets and product market development specific to tourism product portfolio with emphasis of MICE cruising product. Enhance HR capacity and improve service standard. As tourism is extremely labor-intensive and thus significant source of employment, existing human resources challenge confronting the industry will have to be addressed. Such short-term concerns involve the lack of foreign language and speaking guides, insufficient number of skilled workers to meet tourism hospitality industry needs, lack of good training, and teacher with industry experience. Promote initiative and embracing quality standard. The development of local tourism plans, particularly in provincial level form as integral part in quality standard formulation, as will not only involve physical planning of tourism sites but also adoption of standard guidelines and certification process of tourism enterprise in the province. Support MSME development. The program calls for setting up an Institute of Tourism Competitiveness as an entity that should support qualified travel and tourism entrepreneurs in terms of providing access to capital, access to markets, and building of technical and managerial skills, aside from access to financing, which has been identified as most serious constraint of MSE development. Promote gender and women empowerment. The Philippines currently ranked in the 7 terms of gender equality based on the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Index. This status can be partly attributed to the efforts of government and civil society organizations in ensuring the major programs being implemented and development address key gender gaps through planning, the budgeting, and the use of gender analysis tools. Expand and promote cultural offerings. Expanding our cultural offerings in our tourism products and site provides excellent opportunity to enhance the value of natural cultural heritage through sustainability and preservation measure. But also, expanded our tourism offerings such an effort will be valuable particularly in our destination in Iloilo, Negros, Bohol, and Palawan will improve international gateway can accommodate international flights. Preserve environment and promote climate change adoption. Nature-based asset for ecotourism and low-impact tourism can also be an educational tool for highlighting environment preservation measures, showcasing sustainable good practice in taking care of natural surroundings. Implement risk and crisis management program, an event of series of circumstances which can severely comprise or damage marketability of tourism business or destination, has to be managed properly from the risk reduction stage to recovery stage.
According to official government statistics, in 2021, the Philippines had a poverty rate of 18.1%, significantly lower than the 49.2% recorded in 1985 through years of government poverty reduction efforts.
Overall supervision. Tourism Coordinating Council is served as a coordinating body for national tourism development efforts. Of Tourism Coordinating Council, Tourism Infrastructure Subcommittee, Quality Tourism Subcommittee, Inclusive and Sustainable Subcommittee, Travel Facilitation Subcommittee, DOT, NTD Free Monitoring Committee, NTD Free Monitoring Unit, under DOT attached agencies, DOT Offices Central, under ng DOT attached agencies, Government Bureau's Office, Tourist Association, NGO Academy, 16 DOT Regional Offices, 16 Regional Debt Council, Local Government Units, Local Private Sector, NGOs Academy, Tourism Congress of the Philippines.